Hey, friends, welcome to Wellness Wednesday tips and tricks to live your best life. And today we are going to talk about perspective. I am back in Canada after an amazing week in Punta Cana with Ava, and I had an experience, lots of experiences there, but one in particular that really got me thinking about how we all tend to view the world. So, we were staying at a beautiful hotel, absolutely gorgeous views, but there were a few things that happened at the resort that caused some people a lot of stress. So the food wasn't really great. It was kind of hard to get reservations. The service, compared to some places I've been was a little bit lackluster. And definitely there was times where we were feeling a little bit annoyed by it all. But on Saturday, Ava and I had an opportunity to go with my company to a school, a local school in Punta Cana that our company had helped to well, they actually didn't help. They actually built an entire addition for the school so that they could house another 75 students in this school. And so we got up really super early Saturday morning. It was we had to be on the bus at 6:30 and it was pouring rain. I'm pretty sure they get more rain in a tropical storm in Punta Cana than we get like in the entire year in Alberta. So it was pouring rain and we get on this bus early in the morning and we're kind of all tired and we hadn't had breakfast yet and people were a little bit grouchy from a few things. And we started to drive and, we left this beautiful, lush resort with, swaying palm trees and white beaches. And we started to travel and make our way to this school. And as we left the resort area, pretty soon we're seeing people on the sides of the streets, with garbage bags over them to keep them warm. We're seeing, some kids playing outside in this rain with big smiles on their faces. We're seeing piles of garbage like that I've never seen. And I've traveled a lot in my life and I've never quite seen this level of garbage on the streets. And the closer we got to the school, um, the worse the conditions got. So there was tiny houses, just a metal roof, just a bunch of shacks, to be honest, right? And we pull up to this school. It's a concrete compound, and there's, razor wire all around the perimeter of the school. Clearly not the safest place to live. And we got off the bus, and this was the school. So we had the opportunity to go in there, and we were supposed to actually paint that day and to finish it so that the kids could be in school on Monday, but it was raining. So we didn't get to paint, but we did get to go and meet the kids and talk to the principal. And it was so humbling because we got to meet some of the kids and they were so, so grateful. The principal's wife spoke to us. And at one point, as she was expressing her gratitude for our donations, she broke down in tears because this school was a project that she had been involved with for 20 years and it was completely funded on donations. And there was so much gratitude. And we went into this little classroom that we had built. And I actually might get emotional talking about it, but it was this concrete room. And they're like, yeah, this is going to be for 75 kids. And it was tiny and it was just concrete. There were no fancy smart boards. There was no fancy designs. There weren't maps. There wasn't anything in this room. And this was Saturday. And Monday morning, kids were going to be in this classroom. And yeah, there I'm feeling emotional. And Ava was with me. And what a wonderful experience to share with my daughter because it changed her view of the world. Now, you've probably heard this saying before. I'm going to read it so I get it right, but it says, "We do not see the world as it is. We see the world as we are." So we are all looking through just our own set of glasses at the world. And that view that we have of the world, right? It's based on our own experiences. It's based on how we grew up. It's based on our limiting beliefs. And so we tend to assume that everyone else, though, is feeling the same way as we are. So, for example, when I was pregnant, I remember seeing pregnant people everywhere. I don't even see those people. I don't see pregnant women anywhere. I'm sure there's still lots of them. Now I see teenagers, right? We see what we want to see in the world. And so this experience on Saturday, as we got back onto the bus after, and we were heading back to the resort, it was quiet. You could tell people were being reflective. And we were all thinking to ourselves how grateful we were to be staying at a resort where maybe the service wasn't great, but we had a cozy bed. We had endless amounts of food. We had so much opportunity for just living our best life, right? And so that gratitude lens tends to really change things. So perception is truly never really objective. It's again, it's based on our life. But here's the good news, you can change it. So here's my tips, 5 tips for how you can change your perception of the world. Okay. Number one, do new things. We are all creatures of habit. We know what we like, but we get into these routines. And if we don't change them, we don't change. We think everyone else is there. So do new things, meet new people, meet as many new people as you can, and not people like you. Go out on purpose and meet people from different towns, from different cultures that speak different languages, from a different class than you, and listen to their stories. This is my favorite thing to do, is to listen to people's stories and where they came from, because it changes my view. And as I've gotten older, it's crazy how many moments I've had where I'm like, whoa, the rest of the world doesn't think that, right? It seems silly, but it's so true. So do new things, meet new people, travel to new places as much as you can, right? If you live in the city, go to the country. If you live in the country, go to the city, go to other countries. Do as much as you possibly can to really expand your view of the world. And then do this. If you have a belief on something, so maybe you believe the world is flat, okay? On purpose, go to Google and type in research that the world is circular, is round. Challenge yourself to look at oppositional views to you. Be open to that. Because if I'm looking at the world this way and you're looking at the world this way, maybe neither of us is wrong. But what if we were open to other people's opinions? And finally, I would say the last thing is to practice gratitude. Because when you look at life from a lens of gratitude, you're going to be open to seeing more around you. So again, we do not see the world as it is, we see it as we are. So I'd love to know in the comments which of these you feel you could most value from. Do you need to try new experiences, meet new people, travel to new places? Do you need to go to Google and find an oppositional view, or do you need to practice gratitude? And it's amazing when our perspective switches, when we see things from a different lens, it then allows us to connect more with more people, to create community, to create connection, to create compassion. And that is how we make the world a better place.